Boom shakalaka, Bitcoin price action has slowed down a bit as it's nearly hit its targets. Where it's going next and why these are two of the most impactful charts you will ever see. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including where price is likely headed next and some of the most impactful charts you will ever see. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, helps out a lot. Also join us on Twitter at @Crypto where we share all of the charts from today's video. Now, Fear and Greed today at 70, down from yesterday's 61, but you can see up from last week and last month. The overall market down 1%, Bitcoin at 48,152, Ethereum at 24.98, BNB at 3.19, Solana 105, XRP 51 cents, Cardano 53 cents, Avalanche $38, and Chainlink $20. And Bitcoin price, after nearly hitting the price target from this inverse head and shoulders of $50,000, hasn't yet gotten there, but it should be noted has broken above this dashed line, this downtrend from the peak last cycle, and hitting right there, has broken above there and currently is sitting above those levels. That's a consolidation pattern, could continue upwards as long as that line holds right now at 48,115 and dropping every day. Now, this is one of the most important charts to wrap your head around if you have any type of future forward looking towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So, BlackRock and Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs are the most successful ETF launches in 30 years with more than $3 billion in assets. Not only are they both the most successful, you can see IBIT and FBTC up here with over $3 billion in assets each, but of all the other ETFs out there over the last 30 years, only 3 actually broke half of what they did, $1.5 billion each. That would be the 3 USCL, USCA, and Nugo right down here. So they are, while not an order of magnitude larger than every other ETF, they've done a heck of a lot more than every other ETF. And you have to wonder what this is going to do for the scarcest asset the world has ever seen. They can't print more Bitcoin, only ever 21 million. And I think the whales are starting to recognize this. You can see over the past 3 weeks, whales have been on a buying spree. This orange line here accumulating 140,000 Bitcoin in that 3-week time, amounting to $6 billion. Also, that is echoed here on the trend accumulation score by cohort. Right now, still only whales accumulating, which tells me it's still somewhat early. Retail is waiting. People with less than 100 Bitcoin in their wallets are not yet buying. So maybe still room for that upward move we were talking about in the beginning of the video. As a matter of fact, based on the money that has flowed into the market recently, you can see the money flow and the log money flow down here on the bottom. Based on that, historically, once it breaks above this line, well, we should see at least 100% rally based on that alone. So far, the rally has been pretty small. Could see an $80,000 Bitcoin based on this rally alone. You can see 143% here, and here was almost 1,400% rally. So we could have something very, very big coming. And we may even see a new all-time high before the halving in April. Here's why the Bitcoin rally has the potential to reach a new all-time high pre-rally. Number one, all the extreme leverage has been cleansed. Options open interest down 40% and futures funding rates still positive but less exuberant. 2, ETFs continuing to outpace supply by at least 2 to 1 and the halving is still months away. And 3, only 10% of the volume moved at prices above the current level. You can see that right here. Should we break these levels, it is clear sailing all up, scant overhead resistance. This is starting to look really good. And one more match for the fire. We have global liquidity getting close to making a new all-time high, arguably the most important factor for a bull market. That's when the rally really starts. Global liquidity increasing, well, getting pretty darn close to send Bitcoin parabolically. Right now, we are in one of the interim phases. After a bear market, Bitcoin's in this yellow area, which is the low risk bands, goes to the orange mid risk bands, eventually gets up to the high risk bands. Now the orange is always a continuation pattern when it is preceded by a yellow. Now we have yellow right here, we have orange. That means it is a continuation pattern into red, where every time we see a cycle peak. So we are well on the way to the cycle peak, no matter how loud bears want to be. One of the indicators that's generally a leading indicator for Bitcoin, the on-balance volume, making a new high in history. Every time OBV makes an all-time high, Bitcoin goes on parabolic run and creates all-time high later on. You can see new high for OBV, Bitcoin goes on for a rally each time. Well, we just broke that new high. Bitcoin should be headed towards another new rally. And the Bollinger Bands with profile, every time price is above the 21 EMA, this blue line right here, and we have one of these signals on the Bollinger Band with profile, we have a massive run for Bitcoin, at least 100%, oftentimes many, many more orders of magnitude larger. Right now, Bitcoin on a daily chart, broken resistance and closed above it like we were mentioning at the beginning. Similar move was seen here in October when Bitcoin went on to double in price, went from $25,000 to almost $50,000. Could we be the same? Could we have the same thing happening again here? Yeah, absolutely freaking positive. We have a breakout of this very long-term multi-year Bitcoin cup and handle with a projected price target of $145,000 on this one. And what I would argue is probably one of the most awesome charts I have seen in many, many years of doing this. This chart right here, we have a buy signal on the Bitcoin monthly super trend. Now, the longer term the chart, the more impact that signal has. This is a giant buy signal on the monthly chart. Now, based on all of these, average them together. Average gains after a buy signal would be, what is it? 45,000% gains. That's a 450x, okay? But I know there were some big gains in the beginning. May not see that again. Fine. Okay, how about just on these three? 4,800% gains. That's a 48x. But I know a lot of you are poo-pooing on that too. How about just the last two? Well, that would be a 2,200% gains, or 22x on Bitcoin price on average, which would be nearly $1 million Bitcoin. But we'll have to see how this one plays out, because this time's different, right? So that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. Come join us on Twitter, @cryptolove. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Love ya. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.